back into the game. So who's
on the right-hand side? It's a Munchies, and we have Chemo playing Lei Ming. We've got Okabap playing Sylvanas. We've got Nadran Cog Killer. I'm going to try that again. Nadkranilier playing Diablo, the Lord of Terror, the biggest biceps in the game. And we have Mikaku playing Deckard Cain. And in top lane, who could forget Russian Aha?
Jadina on Kira.
Jadina, is that how you say it?
The funky cold Jadina. No, Jadina, yeah.
Jadina. See, that's once you hear it once, obvious and very easy to deal with. Yeah, so it's Jadina.
Diablo steps up the bot lane. Now, here's an interesting talent pickup at level 1 for Diablo. Going for the Devil's Dew for the globe and regenerate and healing fountain value at level 1.
Now,
but that's surprising because there's no globes in mid.
Gazlo falling in top lane there to Kira, by the way, proving the value of Kira. Sylvanas instantly going up to get some value. Presumably they're going to go for the camp. No, so the thing about Devil's Due is people can be laughed at for taking it if the objective is nowhere near where the globes are. But the thing is, whether you win or lose the objective, 2 globes are dropped in the middle lane. In the middle of the map, so you can always still get some value on that, specifically on this map.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that is the philosophy there that Nadra Kanila is going for. But so far the globes also.
Is that how you say that name? Is that how you say that?
That's how I say that name. I've just made that up. But I mean, Nadra Kanila. But they've already got a lot of sustained value from those globes, and in the laning phase, that Devil's Due is going to be so important there because Tyke is going to be trying to chip Diablo down, chip. But the sustain from the potions and the globes means Nadra Kanala can keep stepping up, keep threatening Cassia, keep threatening Tychus even if they get slightly too close to a wall.
Another kind of thing to talk about in level 1 is 2 unusual talent choices, or at least less popular. But remember, this is the upper bracket, so we're now entering the territory where talent choices are all viable and valuable if they've been selected because these players know how to use them mechanically. Their division position dictates that. And what we're seeing here is Unfurling Shadows on Sylvanas, which is Mighty the Banshee Queen is normally picked up there. And Cassia, she's actually taken Thunderstroke rather than the Charged Strike at level 1. So these are 2 off picks, I would say, as talent choices.
Well, let's see how they make them work, because I think these players, as you say, that they are going to be very confident on these heroes, and they are immediately going. Both teams going for camps, and in fact, Tactical Suicide secure the Bruiser camp and the Siege camp at the same time. Of course, on the red side, they're also doing that, but Idra Goch on the Gazlo wants to step up, wants to contest Jadina here on the top camp, and they're going to have a brawl, but of course there's also a skirmish going on the bottom Immortal. Ibim Zyber getting CC'd by the Diablo, who's stepping in, gets potions to keep him alive, but Cassie's got to step out because Stukov does not have enough healing to put up with that kind of damage coming out from Chemo's Lei Ming.
In comes Deckard's seal, but it doesn't manage to catch Mixin this time, so he's safe enough for the moment. But this defense that Cabal and his troops are doing in bottom here is actually keeping the Munchies away from success. And Diablo's the first to fall.
Yeah, Diablo gets picked off there because, of course, he was stepping in trying to get that first half. Now Chemo's going to come in and throw some orbs out, try and get it, and they have. So well played there from Chemo, but they might pay for it with their lives. In comes the slide, knocked back into the Cassia, but lovely little teleport over the ETC, avoids any death.
Do you know, I've got to draw attention to that. Lei Ming has impressed. I know we're only 4 minutes into this game, but she's impressed me a couple of times already with her blinks. They've been on point, not getting stuck at the wrong side of a wall and stuff. She's using it frequently to get around terrain. It's neck and neck, but I'm pretty sure this is going in favour of the Munchies.
There is, but only just about, you know. I mean, that's not a huge. That's not a huge shield. 2,000 hit points, and of course, that means that they don't get much XP advantage out of it either while it's alive. So that's that's still an Immortal. They still have a Sylvanas to push, but it's very tender. Cabal slides out to safety, controls Mikaku on the way, but now Tigers gets picked here, slammed into the wall by Nadra Kanala. Bronze Forever taking a lot of damage. Oh, but the Stukov silence from Mixin. Beautiful to zone, and that controls Munchies for a while, and they have to step back, but in comes the Sylvanas Black Arrows.
Well, to quote Deeblebum, Dweeble Bum, love that name. Tactical Suicide has a full top shelf draft, but I want to see Kira tear some shit up, and I think we're about to get our opportunity.
Yeah, well, they've got the Tychus kill immediately here from the triangle. That was not, of course, from Kira, but it was a lot of damage from that Immortal, and of course, Makaku on the deck has put so many great roots here on their opponents. So far, Munchies looking very strong here for a Division 4 team, and they're putting a lot of pressure on their opponents. And of course, it comes down to having that Sylvanas push, but can they save Jardina at the top lane? Jardina on the Kira wants to bait out a Dragok on the Gazlo, but Gazlo smells out something is wrong and steps back away from their opponent.
Were you saying that the Munchies were the underdogs here? Like statistically,
yeah, statistically, I think they have come in as the underdogs, but they're doing very well here.
Very well.
Cabal slides in. There's the Stukov silence to follow. Jardina has to spear out. They're trying to run away. The potion just about keeps Jardina alive as Bronze Forever puts out a lot of damage on that Tychus.
Well played there by the Munchies. I think, are they going to keep the 4-man up top now? And send Kira down south? They're trying to catch her off on the rotation here. Look at that. Silly sausages. They're looking for her. They don't realise that, in fact, she's still in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch onto Gazlo here. But maybe Cabal on the ETC has Munchies overstepped here. In comes the slide, catches onto Sylvanas. There's the silence from Stukov to try and follow up, but it's not enough. Up Kebab, thinking about waving back in. Diablo slams Gazlo into the wall. He Dragok puts out a bit of damage, but yes, everyone is still alive on the side of Munchies. Orbs coming out from Ming, and of course she's got that reset at level 4 on the orb when it hits. So Chemo...
It's level 9 to level 9. Level 10 is just round the corner. Those heroic abilities may well arrive during this Immortal phase here. So neither team wants to overcommit, because if they start to lose lives now, that'll definitely define the outcome of this objective. So you've got to be careful. You've got to time your fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why we're seeing the Munchies go to the top camp, get themselves level 10, and now, with that level 10, they're going to dive, I suspect, straight into the enemy team. But they have instead gone to go to put some damage on the Immortal, but now, look, Diablo's sniffing, but of course, Tactical Suicide not going to allow it. They're going to stay well back for now.
Interestingly, by the way, just pointing out the heroics that have come in here, we've got mind control on Sylvanas.
And there it goes immediately onto Cabal, exactly as you said, mind control. She cast it onto Cabal, but they don't manage to secure the kill because they've split. Some of them were going for Mixin instead, who's looking for a massive shove, but it has already been used. Mixin steps back, has to avoid the Kira damage. The Kira all aimed at Tychus instead, not trying to catch onto Mixin, who was perhaps too far away.
It was just the rather unusual aiming of Mixin, which happened to hit Bronze Forever. I think that's what it was.
Well, yeah.
It was a 90 degrees offset. That's what it was.
I know. I think they were definitely aiming for that Tychus, but they couldn't secure the kill on the Stukov anyway. So now, this is going to be another fight, but the Apocalypse is not available, and Mosh Pit is, and that is a crucial distinction between these two camps, these two tanks, as Kira slides in, slams onto Cabal, but they've got to be careful of that Mosh Pit and the Gravabomb. And we saw a Gravabomb Mosh Pit combination in our last series, and how devastating that could be.
Sure.
So maybe Tactical Suicide were even watching that and taking some inspiration as they have that Gazlo and ETC ready to go. Diablo on full Solto.
It certainly was a good inspiration indeed, because you're given so much of a wind-up through the Gravo Bomb that the ETC knows exactly where to go and when to deploy, you know. That's an excellent Shadow Charge, followed by an excellent sleep.
But there's no Apocalypse to follow because of it's still on cooldown. Now Mixin pushes somebody away, but Mixin is actually CC'd here by the Immortal. They're trying to take this fight with the Immortal because they saw Sylvanas and the Kira were top lane, but Valkyrie doesn't quite connect here. Cassie is still trying to survive. In comes Kira, puts the pressure on T-Beam's Ibar. But look at the damage. Look at the damage that comes out from Kira. Here the Apocalypse only catches onto Gazlo. Now Dracanula turns over Gazlo, slams into the wall near the Immortal. Got to be careful here, but they will carry on. Halloween.
Kira unfortunately does do the final strike, but it doesn't connect in any meaningful way, which is really unfortunate for the Munchies, who up to this point have been a devastating powerhouse. Looks like they're going to lose this Immortal, and with that the objective, and it's going to push down the top lane, this time on the side of Tactical Suicide. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, so this is exactly what I think we were talking about would happen in the draft, is when they can just kind of race Immortals in a safe position, definitely Munchies are going to get these Immortals. But when the team fights can be forced, look at that. There's so much control that comes out from ETC. But look at the mind control onto Tigers, but they couldn't quite grab a Diablo instead because Stukov was there with the silence to control Diablo, and that's 100 souls on the deck. And that's, look, exactly what I was just talking about, the CC.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Diablo. I don't know why. Oh no! Kira! She dodged it and gave it to Sylvanas. The Valkyrie takes Sylvanas to her death.
Yeah, the Valkyrie into Stukov's silence, no less. Beautiful, beautiful CC chains here from Tactical
Honestly,
Suicide.
I could have sworn that was for Kira, and Kira just sidestepped it and went, nope! And Sylvanas went, ah!
Well, with that, they've got themselves level 13 on the side of Tactical Suicide, and they're going to get themselves this bottom fort as well, I assume. Although Deckard wants to have something to say about that. That's the Scroll of Sealing onto Stukov, but in comes the slide onto Jadina, but absolutely melted, and the grab bomb just to zone if necessary, but it wasn't actually necessary because Kira was already dead. They're still looking to push onto this fort. I don't think they can get the fort, just because there's so much wave clear here from Munchies, but I mean, look at the CC chains that are coming out now.
Yeah, they've stepped up. The whatever switch they were looking for, they found it in the basement and turned it on, because their team fight has completely turned around. Since level 13 arrived, it's just been bish bash bosh, give us your souls and put them on the deck.
Yeah.
People are dying left, right, and sinker.
And of course, the way these fights are going with the CC just killing somebody instantly means that Sylvanas hasn't been able to stack her level 1 talent as much as she would like. Valkyrie nicely sidestepped.
Sylvanas wasn't falling. Fool me once, fool on me.
Yeah, no, exactly. Beautiful sidestep there from the Munchies. Well, they all sidestepped simultaneously. It was like some kind of choreographed dance where the Valkyrie comes
I was
in, they all
quoting
go,
George Bush, by the way, before anyone thinks I'm actually that much of a moron.
Well, but they are still half a level up though on the side of Tactical Suicide. So
yeah, it's 5 takedowns to Tactical Suicides on Tactical Suicide to the 2 takedowns on the side of the Munchies, and that's kind of somewhat going to explain the difference in experience. But that Immortal, they got a lot of work done with that there. That was very impressive. So it's going to come down to this next phase here. And no time wasted at all by the Munchies as they immediately start damaging the Immortal.
yeah.
Kira waiting. She's going to find her target.
Is she though? I mean, the thing that they don't want to do is fight under that Immortal too much, but what else can they do? They can't just sit around and wait for 16 and wait for that Bruiser camp at the bot lane to push in. So fundamentally, at some point, Munchies have to take this fight, but maybe they will have to take it under the Immortal. But no, it's Tactical Suicide who step up into that Immortal space of their opponent. So now maybe this is the opportunity to find ETC out of position in the Scroll of Sealing. He is rooted. There's the Li Ming combo. There's the mind control. Can they punish ETC before he can press Mosh Pit? Maybe not, but there's a sneak that comes out from Deckard Cain with the Apocalypse to follow, catches onto 2 members. Diablo immediately melts the ATC. They're charging in. Li Ming with 1 reset, with 2, with 3. They may be going for more here. They're chasing potentially onto the Cassia, who's running for her life. She will get away, but it's 3 kills for nothing there in favor of Munchies.
I really just got to draw attention to Deckard Cain there. If it wasn't for Deckard Cain's amazing sleep during that team fight, Kira 100% was dead. She was 100% dead to rights. So shout out to Makaku there, who blatantly saved his team with that incredible team sleep. And then, it was followed up seamlessly by Diablo's Apocalypse. Obviously, that goes without saying. And that allowed further stuns to be had, but the immediate danger was where Kira's was positioned, and that was negated by the sleep. So well done to Makaku there, and with that they take the objective, and this is going to be Immortal number 3, this time falling in favour of the Munchies.
Yes, and of course this time it's got half a shield, and they've got a Sylvanas, but they don't want to push with it just now. They want to catch onto Gazlo. He has sensibly stepped back. Now, here's the question, is are they going to push this bot lane? It looks like they are going to push bot as 5, whilst Tactical Suicide have to deal with that Immortal in the top lane. But Tactical Suicide have a bit of a window here where they could take a fight, or a Valkyrie straight away onto Li Ming, but she teleports out on the stay while and listen. Absolutely huge.
Sylvanas stole it! Sylvanas stole that Healy boy that Chemo needs.
But
very good defense by Tactical Suicide Squad there.
yeah, and I mean, well, the thing is Cassia who's dead at the end of the day, and the Immortal is still pushing fairly healthy at the top, and with that, Sylvanas can pivot up to that top lane and start pushing with that Immortal.
I mean, I see what their logic was from the Tactical Suicide Squad, sorry, the Munchies side, is that they're thinking a keep's worth more than the fort. Li Ming's went down, Chemo's died, excellent defense by Tactical Suicide at this point.
Well, they are still losing the keep here. The grab bomb just used to zone away. Now, the mosh pit is still available, and with Li Ming, who's one of the interrupts, dead, maybe this is the chance for Cabal to use a mosh pit, maybe just catch on to Jadina or something, get the kill. But no, they've chosen just to let them walk away and say, look, we've got a kill. Let's not chase too recklessly. We've still got to deal with that Immortal, by the way, which is on our core and doing some core damage right now. So let's consolidate, and then we can go for the fight in 15 seconds or so once everyone's ready.
There you go. It's 16 minutes into the game. You can no longer ignore an Immortal on core with no shields. So, yeah. This do you know, Karis? I can't call this right now.
Well,
I can't call this.
It's incredibly close.
And the Tactical Squad could take it free out of the top lane. They could take this match from the top lane.
This is just neck and neck in terms of XP, in terms of kills. The big difference, though, is the structure on the map, and that's all down to that Sylvanas pushing that we were talking about in the draft setup. And that means that gradually that trickle XP, that's a two structure advantage that will turn into a level of XP lead in maybe let's say 3 minutes or something. So that's still a long time, but it might get them level 20 before their opponents. And of course, it means that Immortals are less of a threat really to Munchies than they are to Tactical Suicide. So that reduces the options for Tactical Suicide. They can't afford to give up an Immortal against Munchies who have a Sylvanas.
Kido's got to be careful here. She could get caught out, and I think Tactical Squad will go straight on them. That is in fact why they are called the Tactical Squad. She is running for her life right here. She's hearthing.
She has got away, but that means she's so far away from her team. I wonder if we'll see Tactical Suicide now try to force something on the enemy camp. No, they've chosen to
Gazlo went back. Ooh.
He wants to take the lane pressure off now before the Immortals are up. That's the objective of Idrag Goch there on the Gazlo.
And I tell you what's juicy about this is if the Munchies take that camp, which they're doing, that goes down top lane as well.
Yes.
So that'll force Gazlo to stay there even longer.
So that's another element of the structural advantage that we were talking about that Munchies have built up in the first 17 minutes of this game, but it's not over yet.
Chemo's going down to clear that fallen shaman camp. She's decided against it.
Well, this is the moment that they have to take this fight, and that's why Chemo has stepped back for now. But of course, that camp is still pushing top, and that's why we're going to see Munchies step up now, try and hold their opponents here, fix their gaze here, so that
you're right. You're absolutely right. Idrag Goch went back. Gazlo is moving back to the core, so it's going to be a 5-on-4 if they go for it now.
Apocalypse.
Diablo's dropped Apoc.
Yeah. And in comes the Valkyrie though, doesn't catch on to anybody. Then Diablo takes down half of the health, but stay a while and listen, catches, holds Stukov in place. Chemo goes in for the kill, but doesn't quite catch it. Has to teleport out to safety, but Cassia does fall in the meantime to the damage from Kira. Diablo though falls in response. He's going to be respawning very soon. The mosh pit's still available for Cabal. Idrag Goch steps up, wants to catch onto Decker. There's the bomb, holds Decker in place. Scroll of Sealing though might be able to zone, but Decker Kane has fallen. Li Ming goes for the reset, almost catches it, but Mixon survives.
That's so unfortunate. She deserved the kill. Out comes the Mosh. They managed to get another counter. Mixon's then going to be the next to fall.
But Natra Canley has respawned in all of that and comes back with a vengeance. Has no souls, but cleans up. And of course, with 5 dead, with an Immortal pushing, is this game Halloween?
Well, they've still. It's going to go bottom lane, and they still have that. Well, they had that camp pushing bottom, but they're ignoring it. They're just going top. They've got 16 seconds to finish.
Well, they've still
Cores
got catapults
at 70%.
in top as well, so that's why. Look, and actually, look, Sylvanas immediately converting one of those catapults, trying to get as much damage on this core as possible. 5 seconds till Cassie is up. This looks like it's going to be GG. Well played to Munchies in game number 1 in this best of 3 series.
GG.